Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
This is our third one for the Wellness Blueprint series.
It is.
And today we're tackling something that's, you know, pretty timely as we're heading into the holidays here.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, the big feast.
Exactly how to enjoy Thanksgiving and all the amazing food and not feel terrible afterward.
That's like how to enjoy it without that kind of guilt and sluggishness.
Exactly. Guilt-free Thanksgiving.
I love it.
So we're going to look at a couple different things for this deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
One is Celebrate a Healthy Thanksgiving by Angelica Chapman.
Okay.
She's got some really, really interesting recipes in there and also some tips for how to kind of approach the whole holiday.
Okay, great.
And then we'll also look at some of her other work like Boost Your Concentration, which I think is really relevant this time of year.
Yeah, for sure, especially with all the planning and the, just the chaos of the holidays.
You're trying to get everything done.
Right.
And then also Wellness Habits to Elevate Your Life, which I think kind of nicely ties in with all of this.
Yeah, because it's not just about Thanksgiving. It's about, creating healthy habits year-round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in with Angelica's Celebrate a Healthy Thanksgiving Guide.
Okay.
And she starts with some recipes, which really caught my eye. The first one is root vegetable mash,
Okay.
which, I'm a huge fan of mashed potatoes.
Oh, of course, who isn't?
But this is kind of like a healthier twist on that classic.
Yeah, I mean, using root vegetables is a great way to get more fiber and nutrients.
Exactly.
And it's so simple, you just roast them up and mash them.
Yeah. And she uses a mix of different root vegetables like sweet potatoes and parsnips and carrots.
Yeah, I think she even adds some turnips in there.
Maybe. Yeah.
Gives it a nice, more complex flavor.
She's getting all those different colors and flavors and textures.
Right, and it's a really visually appealing dish, too.
It is, yeah. It's very festive.
Definitely.
Okay, so then another recipe that she has that I thought was really interesting is the quinoa and cranberry stuffing.
Oh, yeah, that one sounds delicious.
I know, I love stuffing.
It's a Thanksgiving staple.
It is, but her version is kind of unique because she uses quinoa as the base.
Yeah, instead of the traditional bread.
Right, which I thought was really interesting because, quinoa is a complete protein.
It is, and it's packed with fiber and nutrients.
So it's a much healthier option.
Yeah, and it gives the stuffing a really nice nutty flavor.
Uh-huh. And the cranberries add that sweetness and tartness.
Yeah, it's a perfect balance of flavors.
Okay, so we've got the mash, we've got the stuffing.
What about dessert?
We need dessert.
We can't forget about dessert.
Of course not. And Angelica has us covered.
Oh, good.
She has a recipe for pumpkin chia pudding,
Okay.
which I was a little intrigued by because I do love pumpkin.
Yeah, pumpkin is classic for Thanksgiving.
It is, but I've never had it in a chia pudding before.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun twist on the traditional pumpkin pie.
Exactly.
And it's, much lighter and healthier.
Right. Chia seeds are a great source of fiber and omega-3 fatty acids.
And they add this really interesting texture.
Yeah, they kind of plump up and create this creamy pudding-like consistency.
Now, here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Angelica suggests pairing each of these recipes with a specific tea from her wellness shop.
Oh, wow. I love that idea.
I know, it's really cool.
It's like taking the whole dining experience to another level.
Right, and it's all about, incorporating those wellness elements into the meal.
Exactly.
So, she suggests pairing the root vegetable mash with the Slim Cleanse detox tea,
Okay.
the quinoa and cranberry stuffing with the Brain Boost tea brew,
Interesting.
and the pumpkin chia pudding with the Marigold Energy black tea.
I love how she's thinking about the specific benefits of each tea and how they complement the dishes.
Me too. It's really thoughtful.
It is.
Now, I have to admit, when I saw detox tea, I was a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, I can understand that detox is a bit of a buzzword these days. It is. So can you break down what that actually means in this context?
Sure. So in this case, it's more about supporting the body's natural detoxification processes, particularly digestion.
Okay.
The Slim Cleanse detox tea contains probiotics, which are beneficial bacteria that help to promote a healthy gut.
So it's not about like a quick fix or anything like that.
No, it's about supporting your body's natural functions.
I see. And how does that tie in with the root vegetable mash?
Well, the root vegetables are already great for gut health because of their fiber content.
Right.
And the probiotics in the tea can further enhance those benefits.
So it's like a double whammy for gut health.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a great combination.
Okay, now let's talk about the Brain Boost tea brew because that sounds like something I could definitely use.
Especially during the holidays.
Oh my gosh. Yes, with all the planning and the cooking and the shopping.
Yeah, it can be a lot to handle.
So tell me about this tea. What's in it?
Well, it has some really interesting ingredients like lion's mane mushrooms.
Lion's mane mushrooms, I've heard of those.
Yeah, they're known for their potential to improve cognitive function.
Really?
Yeah, and then it also has cordyceps mushrooms.
What are those?
They're another type of mushroom that are considered adaptogens.
Adaptogens?
Yeah, which means they can help your body cope with stress.
Oh, interesting.
And then it also has ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha, what is that?
It's an herb that's also an adaptogen, and it can help to reduce anxiety and improve focus.
So it's like a stress-busting, brain-boosting tea.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And then you said there was green tea in there too, right?
Yes, for that extra boost of energy.
So you're getting that sustained energy without the jitters.
Right, no caffeine crash.
Okay, so how does this tea actually help you feel more focused and alert?
Well, it's all about providing your brain with the nutrients and support it needs to function optimally.
Right.
The lion's mane mushrooms may help to protect and regenerate brain cells.
Uh-huh.
The adaptogens help to combat stress and fatigue.
Okay, so it's like giving your brain a little extra TLC.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great way to support your cognitive health.
Okay, so we've got the gut-healthy tea and the brain-boosting tea.
And don't forget the Marigold Energy black tea.
Oh, right, the one that's paired with the pumpkin chia pudding.
Yes.
What's special about that one?
Well, it's a black tea, which means it has a bit more caffeine than the other teas.
Okay.
But it also has marigold, which is known for its calming properties.
Interesting.
So it's a nice balance of energy and relaxation.
So it's perfect for after dinner when you want to, unwind but still stay energized.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's a great way to end the meal on a high note.
So we're nourishing our bodies with delicious, healthy food and then supporting those benefits with these targeted tea blends.
Right. It's a holistic approach to Thanksgiving.
I love that.
It's about taking care of your whole self.
Exactly.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Now I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about Angelica's Boost Your Concentration Guide.
Okay.
Because I think this is so relevant this time of year.
Oh, for sure.
Thanksgiving can be so hectic.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is. You're trying to plan the meal. You're shopping. You're decorating.
And you might be traveling.
Yeah, maybe you're hosting, maybe you're traveling.
Right. There's so much going on.
Exactly. So how do you stay focused and productive amidst all that chaos?
Right. And that's what I love about this guide because it gives you some really practical strategies.
Yeah.
One of the tips that really stood out to me was creating a dedicated workspace.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I know, because it's so easy to just try to do everything from the couch or from, the middle of the kitchen.
Right.
But having that designated space can really help you focus.
It's like sending a signal to your brain that it's time to work.
Right.
And it also helps to minimize distractions.
Exactly. So you're not getting sidetracked by the TV or, the kids running around.
Right. You can really get into that flow state.
So how do you actually create a dedicated workspace if you don't have like a separate office or anything like that?
Well, it doesn't have to be anything fancy.
It could just be a corner of your dining room table or a small desk in your bedroom.
Uh-huh.
The key is to have a designated space that's just for work.
Okay, so you're carving out that space even if it's just a small space.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's about creating those boundaries.
And she also talks about the importance of prioritizing tasks.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
It is, because it's so easy to just get overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done.
Right.
And she recommends using something called the Eisenhower Matrix.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a really helpful tool for decision making.
So how does it work?
Well, basically, you divide your tasks into 4 quadrants.
Okay.
Urgent and important. Important but not urgent. Urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important.
Okay, so you're basically categorizing your tasks based on how important and how urgent they are.
Exactly.
And then what?
Well, then you can focus on the tasks that are both urgent and important first.
Right.
And then you can delegate or defer the tasks that are less important or less urgent.
So it's all about prioritizing your time and energy.
Exactly.
So that you're not wasting time on things that aren't really moving the needle.
Right. It's about being strategic with your to-do list.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great way to stay on top of things.
Okay, so we've got the dedicated workspace, we've got the Eisenhower Matrix. What else does she recommend?
Well, she also talks about the importance of establishing a routine.
Oh, yeah, routines are so important.
They are, especially during times of stress.
Right, because when you have a routine, it kind of takes the guesswork out of your day.
Exactly.
You know what you need to do and when you need to do it.
And it can help to reduce decision fatigue.
Uh-huh, because you're not constantly having to make decisions about what to do next.
Right.
So how do you actually establish a routine if you don't already have one?
Well, it starts with identifying your priorities.
Okay.
What are the most important things that you need to get done each day?
Right.
And then you can block off time in your schedule for those things.
Okay, so you're scheduling time for your priorities.
Right.
And then what about the things that aren't as important?
Well, you can either delegate those tasks or do them during your less productive hours.
Okay, so you're basically being mindful of your energy levels.
Right. And you're making sure that you're using your time wisely.
I love it.
Yeah, it's all about optimizing your day.
But even with a routine and a dedicated workspace and a prioritized to-do list, we still need to take breaks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Our brains can't just work nonstop.
Right. We need time to rest and recharge.
And she talks about that in the guide.
She does.
She recommends using the Pomodoro technique.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a time management technique.
So how does it work?
Well, you set a timer for 25 minutes and you work on a task without any distractions.
Okay.
And then when the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
And then you repeat that cycle 4 times.
Uh-huh.
And then after the 4th cycle, you take a longer break, like 20 or 30 minutes.
So it's basically alternating between periods of intense focus and periods of rest. And that helps to prevent burnout.
Right. And it can actually make you more productive overall.
Really?
Yeah, because when you're taking regular breaks, you're allowing your brain to refresh and come back to the task with more focus.
So it's not about working less, it's about working smarter.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's a great way to maximize your productivity.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different strategies for boosting concentration and productivity.
Yeah, we have.
But I want to tie this back to Thanksgiving,
Okay.
because I think these strategies can be really helpful for managing the stress and the overwhelm that can come with the holidays.
Oh, for sure.
So how can we actually apply these strategies to Thanksgiving planning?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to set realistic expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't.
No, it's more important to focus on spending time with loved ones and enjoying the holiday.
Right. So maybe you don't need to make every single dish from scratch.
Exactly. Or maybe you don't need to have a perfectly decorated house.
It's about letting go of those perfectionistic tendencies.
Right. And focusing on what truly matters.
I love it.
Yeah. And then I think it's also important to prioritize self-care.
Oh, yeah. Self-care is so important, especially during the holidays.
It is, because it's easy to get caught up in taking care of everyone else.
Right.
And forget about yourself.
So what are some ways that we can prioritize self-care during Thanksgiving?
Well, it could be something as simple as taking a few minutes each day to just relax and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe taking a hot bath or reading a book.
Right. Just doing something that you enjoy.
Exactly. It's about giving yourself permission to recharge.
I love it.
Yeah, it's essential for maintaining your well-being.
And I think it's also important to remember that Thanksgiving is a time for gratitude.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a time to reflect on all the good things in our lives.
Right, and to appreciate the people we love.
And when we focus on gratitude, it can really help to shift our perspective.
It can.
And it can make us feel more joyful and content. So even amidst the chaos and the stress of the holidays, let's try to remember to be grateful.
Yes, let's focus on the good.
I love it.
Yeah, it's what Thanksgiving is all about.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We talked about delicious, healthy recipes.
Right.
We talked about strategies for boosting concentration and productivity.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about the importance of self-care and gratitude.
Yes, it's all connected.
It's all about creating a Thanksgiving experience that feels good on all levels.
Exactly.
Physically, mentally, and emotionally.
That's the goal.
I love it.
Yeah, it's about making Thanksgiving a truly nourishing experience.
And I think these principles can apply to any holiday or really any time of year.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about being mindful of our choices and prioritizing our well-being.
Right. It's about creating a lifestyle of wellness.
I love that.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
So let's keep exploring.
Yes, let's keep diving deeper into this world of wellness.
Sounds good to me.
I'm curious to hear from our listeners.
Yeah, what are their thoughts?
What are some of their favorite ways to stay healthy and happy during the holidays?
I'd love to know.
Leave us a comment below and let us know.
We'll be sure to read them all.
All right, so that's it for this deep dive on a healthy and happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you next time on the Wellness Blueprint.
It's really like a philosophy, you know?
It's
It's not just about Thanksgiving.
Right. It's about kind of a way of living.
It is, yeah.
A way of approaching life.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I really appreciate about Angelica's work is that it's not just about, quick fixes or fad diets.
No, it's about sustainability.
It is.
It's about finding what works for you and making those changes that you can stick with.
Yeah. long-term changes.
Right.
And I think that's so important because so often, we get caught up in this cycle of like trying the latest trend
Yeah, the quick fix.
and then it doesn't work. And then we feel bad about ourselves.
Right, and then you're back to square one. But with this approach, it's about finding what truly nourishes you.
Uh-huh.
And that looks different for everyone.
Right. So it's about kind of tuning into your own body,
Exactly.
your own needs.
And listening to what it's telling you.
And I think that can be really challenging in today's world
It can be.
because there's so much noise.
So much information coming at us from all directions.
Yeah. And everyone's telling you what to do and how to eat and how to live.
And it's easy to get overwhelmed.
It is. So it's about finding that inner wisdom.
Yes, finding your own truth.
And I think that's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's not something that happens overnight.
Right. It takes time.
And it takes experimentation.
Exactly. You have to be willing to try different things.
And to figure out what works for you.
And what doesn't work for you.
Right. And I think that's the beauty of it.
It is. It's empowering.
It is.
Because you're taking control of your own health.
Exactly.
Your own well-being.
And it's not about being perfect.
No, it's about progress.
It is.
It's about making those small changes
One step at a time.
that add up over time.
Exactly. And I think that's so important to remember because it's easy to get discouraged
Yeah.
if you're not seeing results immediately.
Or if you have a setback.
Right.
It happens to everyone.
It does. So it's about being kind to yourself.
Yes. Self-compassion is key.
It is.
It's about acknowledging that you're doing the best you can.
Celebrating those small wins.
Yes,
Because every step forward is a victory,
it is.
no matter how small.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that we often forget.
Yeah.
We're so focused on the end goal
Right.
that we forget to enjoy the journey.
And to celebrate the progress that we're making.
Exactly. And I think that's so important for our mental health,
It is.
to focus on the positive.
And to be grateful for what we have.
Yeah, and I think that ties in nicely with the whole concept of mindful living,
It does.
which is something that Angelica talks about in her ultimate guide to mindful living and healthier lifestyle. And it's basically about bringing awareness to the present moment
Exactly.
without judgment.
So just noticing what's happening
Uh,
without labeling it as good or bad.
and that can be really challenging,
It can be.
especially when we're so used to being in our heads.
Yeah, we're constantly thinking about the past or worrying about the future.
Right. So mindful living is about bringing our attention back to the here and now.
To what's actually happening in this moment.
And it's not about emptying our minds
No, it's about noticing our thoughts and feelings.
and just letting them be
Exactly.
without getting caught up in them.
And I think that's a really powerful practice
It is.
because it can help us to reduce stress
Uh-huh.
and to increase our overall well-being.
And it's something that we can do anywhere, anytime.
Exactly.
We don't need any special equipment or training
Right. It's just about paying attention
to our breath
to our body
or our surroundings.
and to our thoughts and feelings.
And I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's a gift
It is a gift.
that we can give ourselves.
So as we're approaching Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
let's try to bring some of these mindful living practices into the holiday.
I love that idea.
Let's try to slow down,
Be present
savor the moment,
and connect with our loved ones.
and let's be grateful for all the good things in our lives.
Yes. Gratitude is key.
It is.
It's what Thanksgiving is all about.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful holiday.
And I think we can make it even more meaningful
Absolutely.
by incorporating some of these wellness practices.
And by focusing on what truly matters.
Exactly.
Connection, gratitude, and nourishment.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a recipe for a truly happy Thanksgiving.
So what do you say?
What?
Are you ready to create a Thanksgiving that feels good on all levels?
I am definitely.
Me too. Let's do this.
Let's do it. And, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about taking those small steps.
Yeah. Just choosing one thing.
Exactly.
Maybe it's trying one of Angelica's recipes.
Or incorporating one of the teas. Or just, setting aside 5 minutes in the morning to breathe.
Right.
Whatever feels manageable for you.
Exactly.
And building from there.
Because it's all about progress, not perfection.
I love that.
And it's about enjoying the journey,
Yeah.
not just focusing on the destination.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay, I like that.
What one small change will you make this Thanksgiving
That's a good question.
to prioritize your well-being
To create a more joyful experience.
for yourself and for your loved ones?
It's something to think about.
It is.
And remember, it doesn't have to be a big change.
Right.
Even the smallest actions can have a ripple effect.
So let's make this Thanksgiving a truly nourishing one.
Yes, let's nourish our bodies, our minds, and our spirits.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll see you next time on the Wellness Blueprint.